Good morning, and thank you for joining me here today on the O'Rourke Report. Let me start out by saying, if you want to be notified every time I put out new content, please hit the subscribe button. It should be over here somewhere. Usually it's over here. Sometimes up there, sometimes, but over there. Subscribe. And if you like what you see, hit that little like button. Brit. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get down to business because it's been 18 long months since the crown jewel, a lot of people over there in Bravo land considered this franchise because it was their #1 rated franchise for years, was put on a little pause, and finally back after 18 months is Atlanta. And we open up with Portia demonstrating her incredible abs. God love her. She looks fabulous. She looks beautiful. She really does. And we are shown that there is no Kenya in the cast photo. You know, the women standing there with their peach. So we will see her the first couple of episodes, I guess, until she puts a foot wrong and the producers say, that's it. Boy, we'll see it. I'm sure they're going to show it on one of the episodes, but she's such a mean-spirited person. It's just so mean. And what she did to this new cast member, and you see it immediately as soon as Kenya is introduced to the new cast members, you see immediately that she has it out for them, and that will develop over the coming next couple of episodes, I guess. We see all the ladies in their house and where they are where they are now in their lives. We see Drew in a voluminous caftan, which anybody who wears a big blowy caftan is hiding something, and usually a fat tummy or something like that. We see Drew, a massive wig. She is now divorced, and I even forget what her husband's name was. But she's palling around with Dennis, the hot dog king, Portia's baby daddy. And that's not going over too well with Portia, so that's going to be interesting to watch that develop. Drew and Dennis. Kelly reminds me of Mia, 4 daughter. Okay, Kelly, she has 4 daughters. This is the one I think that, is this the one that Kenya goes after? Hold on one second. I think I have this somewhere and I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not quite sure which is the one that Kenya goes after, but we'll find out soon enough. I do have a note here that Kelly, one of the newbies, reminds me very much of Mia. The face is totally puffed out. She's got all sorts of fillers and all sorts of stuff shot up into that face. And so far the little bit I've seen of a couple of the newbies are, they are a little down market. A little bit I've seen. Hopefully it won't go in that direction for long, which, I'm going to expound upon a little bit when I talk about Married to Medicine, that the ones that come in that are a little down market are clearly buffed and cleaned up by Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone and told very, very clearly that this is not the way we do things here on this franchise. I don't know if anybody has that frame of mind at Atlanta. But anyway, Kelly reminded me a little bit of Mia from Potomac. She's the one, apparently she's very successful. She has a restaurant, and I don't know if it's a franchise or not. By that I mean I don't know if there's several restaurants that she owns called Nana's Chicken and Waffles, very popular in Atlanta. Portia called her restaurant a chicken shack. Portia's already a little threatened by the success of Kelly. We also get to see Portia go visit Atlanta's resident divorce attorney, Randy Kessler. He handled Nene's. He handled a bunch of them. Well, Portia knows that she needs to divorce Simon because Simon was not very truthful when it came to his real financial situation, and Portia just ain't playing that this time. So we see a lot of familiar faces, but this is the lead of Atlanta to me. This is the absolute lead. Is another face we've seen for years is Portia's friend Shamea. And we've seen her for a couple of years, and she's always Portia's friend Shamea. Well, apparently, Shamea is one of the richest women in this whole group. She has, I think it's her birthday party. She has a birthday party at her, get this, $9 million house. And it is stunning. It puts Chateau Cheray and at the Kenya Moore Chateau. I forget what we call Kenya's house, but it kind of it leaves them in the dust. It is gorgeous. And we do find out that the husband is an HVAC man, which is heating, venting, and AC. Is that what HVAC stands for? But not just for homes, for airports. So you can imagine if his business is so successful, he is installing HVAC in airports. A $9 million house makes a lot of sense. In addition, he gives his wife at the birthday party $400,000, I think $430,000 Rolls-Royce. And it was this little bit of a pet peeve with me, and I think I've gone on about this before. Don't give anybody a Rolls-Royce, gentlemen, please, unless you're going to include a chauffeur. Nobody should be driving their own Rolls-Royce. It's just, first of all, the thing is so massive, it's like a tank. You see the women driving it, and they're like looking through the steering wheel. Their little head is, barely over the steering wheel. They have no business driving a $400,000, $500,000 car. If you've got that type of money to throw away a car, you've got that type of money for a chauffeur who should be driving the car, making sure it's clean, making sure there's gas in it, making sure all those good things. And that is what people with, of course I have no idea because it ain't me, people with real money do. They've got chauffeurs. They don't drive their own Rolls Royces. Pet peeve, I know. Oh, there's a new girl. Oh, yeah. This is the girl that I believe is the one that Kenya goes after, the one named Brittany. And she's got a 10, and this is what sets Kenya off when she sees it. She's got a 10-carat sparkler on her hands. And it is stunning. It's square cut. It's gorgeous. And Kenya sees that, boy, her eyes turn green. She is incensed that this woman has got a 10-carat diamond. So, yeah, that's what sets her off. Her name is Brittany. Don't know much more about her. So anyway, yeah, love to see the ladies. A little disappointed didn't get to see Phaedra, but I think at this point in filming, Phaedra was still filming with Married to Medicine. And I think, and I'm speculating on this, I'm pretty sure this is right though, that once Kenya was fired, the producers said, oh my God, we've got to fill this gap with somebody that we know and that the audience loves. Who doesn't love Phaedra? More, especially after The Traitors. Phaedra has just launched herself into a second career that's so far appears to be a very successful career. I'm a little worried about her going through her money on Married to Medicine when she rented that private jet to sit on a tarmac for 12 hours and then fly 20 minutes from Key West up to Atlanta. So I think that's why we're not seeing Phaedra, is because Kenya is still part of the cast, but the moment we don't see Kenya on the cast anymore, we're going to see Phaedra. And the relationship between Portia and Phaedra was rock solid, which means they are going to be the queens of the show, but really the queen is Shamea, and what a lovely friend she is. You would never know. In all these years we saw saw her on Atlanta, how really well off she was. So looking forward to it. It's back. We're looking forward to it. Cynthia Bailey was there a little bit. Love Cynthia Bailey. She is the sweet, even-tempered person, and always great to see her. And another without another Rolls without a driver. How dreadful, I write. I always have to have a little Dwight there when we visit Atlanta. Okay, let's go on to Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine once again concentrated very heavily on the thing I really love about this cast. These are, I have said it a million times and I'll say it again, these are well educated, these are doctors, these are white collar professionals, and they have a certain look they want their show to have, and they will not tolerate messiness. Or they jump right on it, and they've banished people from it. They did this with Quad before, and Quad, I believe, has learned her lesson. But people get banished if they don't make every effort to squash beefs and to move on. Because I believe the head and the heart of the show are Dr. Jack, two obstetricians, Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. And I believe their vision for the show is to give back to their communities. They often have gatherings and fairs to give out free, it's like Doctors Without Borders, free dental work, free, any sort of medical. They take all the vitals. They advise about blood pressure, which is hypertension runs rampant in the African American community. Breast cancer is high percentage in the African American community. There's a lot of things that are unique to the African American community, and the doctors on Married to Medicine have said, we're going to do everything in our power to educate our community here in Atlanta. And the one thing that they will not stand or tolerate, excuse me, little Miss Chloe in the house, meep meep. It's messiness, because it takes away from their core message. And another one of their core messages, Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone and Cecil have purchased as an investment property an apartment. It looks, from the exterior shots and interior shots, it looks great. Their first apartment, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And they allow the boys to live there. I think that their sons they're supposed to pay rent, but they are also supposed to clean. And Simone will not tolerate their messiness. And in fact, there was a real serious discussion is that she was going to kick them out, because she's already had this serious discussion about keeping that kitchen clean, cleaning out the garbage pails. These are guys, guys are messy. We know that, most of them. And her message to them is very, very clear. If you want the advantage and the privilege of renting in this apartment, and believe me, the rent is minimal compared to what it could be, I would imagine, in the area that the apartment was purchased. Chloe, what are you doing? Come on, little buttoncup. Here. They'll do well to listen to Mommy and Daddy, because Mommy and Daddy don't play. So another reason I love Married to Medicine, you know that. Okay, so the whole show was based upon the adults in the room trying to prevail upon Dr. Eugene, psychiatrist, used to be married to Quad. This is the one that Quad's new boyfriend charged on the sandbar. Remember that? Quad's boyfriend King is very conciliatory about it. He wants to aspire to the same things that the cast members expect people to aspire to. So he's willing to do anything it takes to squash the beef with. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Squash the beef with Dr. G, but Dr. G is so hurt. He is expecting, this is what he is expecting, and this is why it's not going to work out for him. He is expecting the other cast members to take sides, and they are not going to do that. What the other cast members, led by Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, are saying, we are not taking sides on this. We expect you to resolve this. And so far, Dr. G doesn't appear to be willing to do that. The other one who's trying her very best to live up to Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone's expectations is Dr. Contessa. And Dr. Contessa so far is not able to see the bigger picture. And she is, while she says all the right things, she doesn't get the big 20,000 foot, 50,000 foot picture, which is, it doesn't care who's right or wrong in this group. If you want to be part of this group, you will not squabble and you will not allow things like this to get out of hand. Is it an alcohol issue? I don't know. I know it is with Heavenly. It's an alcohol issue. Put a couple of drops of alcohol in Heavenly and things go to hell in a handbasket, but they're able to control, well, I'm on record of saying they're not able to control Heavenly, but if Heavenly doesn't have somebody who will participate in her bad behavior, she quickly goes away. So that's what the whole episode was about. The new guy, whose wife is a psychiatrist, his name is Steve, even-tempered. This is in the same class as the Whitmores, Dr. Jackie and her husband. He only wants people to resolve. And so we'll see what happens next week. Next week is the Bridgerton episode that Tanya has. Toya, I called her Tanya, sorry Toya. Toya has put together, and we'll see if everybody can be on their best behavior. I'm hoping it's going to be a happy ending because that's what I expect from this show. And that's what I really like about it. Okay, right after Married to Medicine was Watch What Happens Live. On it was Portia looking fabulous along with Law Roach, which is this is the guy with the super long hair. He does... he is a stylist, super successful stylist for the upper echelon, does all the Paris shows, this show, that show. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, now, we got Beverly Hills. I'm going to have to do a whole separate one on Beverly Hills, I think. Oh, yeah, I am. Okay, good. So anyway, that's all we have. We have our Sunday night shows. We have our Atlanta is back. Can't wait to see what happens on the next episode. When does Kenya really start acting up? And she'll justify it 50 Ways to Sunday why she had every right to do what she did. I don't know if you know what she did. We'll save it for the episode where she does it. And then we'll discuss it then. And of course, next week we have Married to Medicine season finale. Fingers so crossed that everything gets resolved, because these are aspirational people that everybody should look up to and watch. That's my 2 cents. So anyway, as I've always said, and I've said before in the past, if you want to be notified every time we do new content, please hit the subscribe button. Right, should be right there. And hit that like button. And I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon next time here on the O'Rourke Report.